Hello, and this video is going to go through how to flirt and specifically avoid the interview mode. Now, some of you might not really understand what that is, and it's basically questions. Basically, you're just asking question after question after question. For example, where are you from? What do you do for work? What are you doing at the weekend? These are basic questions that you might even ask someone that you've just approached or someone that you're texting and getting to know. Um, what do you like to do in your free time? Something like that. What do you like to drink? Okay, all these are good questions, but if you're saying it one after another, it's like an interview. It's just question, 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 question. The bad thing about interview mode is that first of all, it's very boring. Boring. Girls just want to have fun, remember, so it's boring to them. Secondly, it's um, you making more effort than her, because you want her to also make an effort too in the conversation. If you just start throwing a load of questions at her, then it's definitely a one-sided conversation, which is also a power imbalance too. So that is something to avoid. Um, and also, I'm going to write boring again because a lot of people underestimate being boring. Imagine you messaging her a load of questions and the next guy doing the same, and the next guy doing the same. I mean, she could copy and paste her answers to everyone, right? And it's not interesting. So definitely avoid interview mode. Now, what you want to do is you want to use interpretation, and you want to guess what her answer would be without even asking it. So I'm going to give you some examples in a minute, or even let's say guess or predict. So, for example, what you do for work. Okay, what do you do for work? Okay, no, let's not ask that question. Let's ask, you look like a, and then whatever it is that you think she looks like. And to be honest, if it's a bit ridiculous, that might even work. So, for example, if she's small and skinny or whatever, you could be like, "Oh yeah, you look like a." You could be realistic. You look like a secretary, or if you want to be ridiculous, you look like a firefighter. Okay. Either way, she might laugh. She might agree with you. You might be correct, which would be pretty cool. She'll be like, "What the fuck? How do you know?" And then you just play it off as if it wasn't a guess. Or she might think, like, if it's something ridiculous, like very different, like a firefighter, she might be like, "What? Like, why'd you say that? Blah blah." No, I'm actually and she answers the question anyway, even though you didn't ask the question, you guessed it. But it's just more fun. The same with this. What are you doing at the weekend? For example, you could just say, "You look like you do hiking every weekend." Okay. Now that might not exactly get the answer to this question, but if you lead with that and then you say like, so this weekend you're not doing hiking, then it will go on to what she's doing at the weekend. Again, it's a bit more exciting, and she can either agree or disagree with it. Again, how are you? Okay, a good one if you just approach a girl is to be like, you look angry. I know it sounds a little bit negative, but do that with a smirk on your face and be like, you look angry today. Bad day? Question mark. Okay. This is good because you're kind of telling her her feeling, so it's not a question. This is a question part, but it has this connected to it, so it doesn't seem as like bad. Just disclaimer, this doesn't mean that you do this all the time. Of course, sometimes you need to ask questions, okay? But maybe if you did like this one like this, that's a much better conversation than if you just ask questions all the time. Okay? And again, if you just did assumptions all the time, that would also be a bit weird. So you need a mixture of both. And anything like this, you look like, or you're the type of girl to I don't know, volunteer at a dog shelter. Okay. Again, it could be something quite serious if you chat to her and you get that impression, or it could be something non-serious. Okay. For example, what do you like to drink? Okay. You look like the kind of girl that is afraid of tequila. For example. Okay. So that is the better way to do the conversation. Do a mixture of questions and I mean I should have written assumptions because that is the main word for it. Assumptions. But yeah, predictions, guesses, interpretation. If you use a mixture of both of these, your conversation game will increase. And this can be used for texting or even face to face as well. If you are struggling with any messages, on your Instagram, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, dating apps, whatever it is, um, send me a screenshot. Let me know. Let me check it out, and I will give you a free little how can I say, feedback on what I think you can improve or what you're doing good as well. So yeah, let me know. You can send that to me either on Instagram, Twitter, or even on the comments on YouTube. Well, maybe not on a YouTube comment, or even my email address, better, be.thatsocialguy@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and use this to make your game the next level.